You're now listening to a Rat House production podcast. For more podcasts like this, head to retthaus.net. Hey, you guys, and welcome to Comics After Dark for the real comic fan. I'm your host, MTR, also known as Matt the Rat. And as always...
You can't take his thing.
Of course I can. I've done it for like 3 weeks now.
Mike.
You know they can see you, like, no matter what.
Yeah, it rips me off. Hey, you guys. Patrick.
It's okay. I forgot what I was watching, but someone else did. Hey, you guys. I was like, this motherfucker took my line. What did you call it? Is that catchphrase? Pickup line?
Pretty sure. Your pickup. That's your pickup
line?
Hey,
ladies. Hey, guys.
I just picture you pulling up in a white panel van, rolling down the window and saying, hey, you guys.
Right.
Stop doing that.
And
dude.
that there is the promo for what not to do.
Exactly.
How you guys doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Tired, but okay.
So,
what happened there?
Huh?
I realized I thought of something.
Doing your imitation of me 2 weeks ago when I couldn't talk?
No, I was doing my imitation of you when, like, you got your pull list and you're like, holy shit.
You see when I saw the price tag?
Because that's exactly what I was getting into. So, unfortunately, we got Patrick back into comics. So now how much was your pull this week?
Dude, I've been to 3 comic shops in the last 3 days.
Holy shit, dude.
Because I'll be like, I just need this one thing. And they're like, I can order it for you. I'm like, no, that's cool. Because I want it tomorrow.
I'll go through the boxes.
Yeah.
I want this.
Yeah,
I want this.
Dude, it's bad. I have a serious problem.
You do. But you have the money to have the problem. It's like people that, it's the difference between crack and cocaine, The people that can afford the coke, they're going for it because they got the money to burn it, man.
I mean, you do take a vacation after you just took a vacation.
Yeah, he did.
From the vacation.
I mean, what a bad time for you guys to get me back into it, and I'm leaving for 3 weeks, so I can't read it.
well, all your digital uploads, you could just put it onto your phone and then read it through there.
Yeah, but I mean, the stuff that comes out while I'm gone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We'll read it for you. Where's your pull list?
No.
We'll lick every page and close it.
I'm going to call the shop and say, here's my credit card number now. Read me the digital download code.
You know what? I think you can do that.
I know some people that do that.
Oh, shit. Yeah. That's awesome. All right, you guys ready to get in some comic book reviews?
Yeah.
All right, Maestro, hit me!
No.
Damn it.
He said hit him, so hit him.
I wish we had like a plush toy so I could just throw it. I want to hit you but not hurt you.
I want to hit you but not hurt you.
Oh, damn it. I can't get into it. Oh, give a little teaser. Just a little teaser.
Tease it.
Green Lantern hit someone with a punching arrow, so you can hit me that way. It's the fucking, full on, the boxing glove at the end. It's so stupid. I'll get into that, though. So, let's start off with an individual comic. Uh-oh. Life is like a mystery here in Duckburg.
I got a tag.
Sorry, buddy.
Life's like a mystery. Rewriting history. DuckTales. Woo!
That might fuck up the focus on it.
Whatever.
I just fucked up the focus on it. DuckTales. Woo! So, comic book reviews. What'd you guys read? What you guys got? What do we got? Mike.
New?
Yeah.
Besides our group one?
Yes. Did you read an additional one?
Just an old one.
Okay, what'd you read, man?
What we were arguing about earlier.
Okay, we'll start off with that then. That's fine.
I don't remember who's the artist and everything, but I ended up rereading Carnage, Axis, and I fucking love it so much.
So, for people that don't know, what was Axis? And obviously it's Marvel.
Pretty much the whole...
I was going to be like, and who wrote it? But,
pretty much the whole story arc of it is like bunch of heroes and villains teamed up to fight each other at one particular point, and I want to say either it was with Red Skull and then fucking...
But he was who's the big guy? It looks like Magneto, but it's not Magneto.
Onslaught?
But it was Red Skull's mind in Onslaught.
Yes. So Onslaught, and then he did something, and then Scarlet...
To Professor X.
Yeah. No, he stole his brain. There we go. He stole Professor X's brain, and then so he tried to do something to make everybody evil in the entire world, and then Scarlet Witch tried to stop it, but it did a big giant polarity shift in that specific area. So all the heroes become villains, and the villains become heroes, which is kind of weird.
I think
Some
the
friends
writer
become
for
enemies.
it
Some enemies become friends.
is
Yeah.
Rick Spears.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
I can't recall that. I'm pretty sure that is also when Iron Man needs help from Deadpool. So it's so great because like
I
he's
love
like
it.
he goes, Iron Man's like, help me, and Deadpool's like, do I become an Avenger if I help you? And he goes, no, and he's like, I'm not helping you.
No.
And then like out of nowhere, Deadpool is just murdering people. He's like, and then I saw her face. Now I'm an Avenger. I'm in
fucking
love.
epic.
Ooh. Like in just like,
But the best
I'm an
part,
Avenger. I could avenge
on that
if I
issue,
try. It's like
on
a
that
great-
issue itself, play that song
Yeah.
while you're reading it.
And not only that, but it's Deadpool, and like basically the iron suit's powered down, and it's Deadpool with like
fucking-
a cord, and like where do I plug this? Like the question mark exclamation
that
point.
was like the best fucking cover ever.
So while all this is happening, that's the Deadpool solo series. That's happening. So after that, he's just running around telling everybody he's an Avenger.
Well, not only that, that's like pretty much after Axis, but he ends up so he gets affected on the polarity shift. So
Oh yeah.
so he becomes pretty much a pacifist. Fucking Deadpool.
And he's got like those like really big like Buddhist necklace, like the
Yeah.
beads. He's wearing that and
White,
shit.
so he's all white and black.
I love it.
His real self is in his head, still talking to him. So like he's in a subway train and he saw like 3 villains. And he was like, "Oh shit, Deadpool's here!" And then pretty much like his pacifist self is like, "Oh hi, blah blah blah." I was like, "No, I told you. Next time I see them, I will kill them." And so it's like that internal struggle with it. But it was
it's
pretty cool though. But back
You
with
got the Carnage one. Yeah.
but the Carnage one, it was pretty cool. 'Cause-
Carnage is good now.
yeah.
So he's swinging around like trying to help people, and people are like, "Oh God, it's Carnage!"
But and it's funny too because even though he's like making an attempt to save people, he's killing the bad guys.
Yeah.
So he's like, so
So like the bad guys are like, "Carnage is here," and then he's killing them, and he's like, "What the fuck?"
so and it's a really good. I think it was a three-parter, 3 or 4
It was
parts.
either 3 or 4. I read the Goblin one. That was horrible.
Don't get me started on that one. So on that series alone, it was pretty good, and then it kind of fucked up too because he was like really trying hard to be good, and he saved a reporter, and this whole entire time they're like stuck to each other, and then she ends up fucking him over, and he's like, "What the fuck, man?" I'm like, "I'm trying to be fucking good, and then you just do this shit to me." And she's like, "Well, I'm sorry." It's like, man,
That's life.
it is.
That's
but
life.
That's life. Plug in.
All social media. That's life_pod. Shameless plug.
So, but other than that, no, I enjoy.
I remember reading that. I still need to finish with Marvel. I need to finish Superior Spider-Man. I haven't finished it yet. I know what happens. I just haven't read it.
Have you read Superior Carnage?
I did read Superior.
I
Carnage.
love that one. It was so
That's
good.
when I forgot what doctor it is, but he basically
The
makes
wizard.
Clarence Cassidy. Can you say his name for me? Cletus Cassidy's brain. He lobotomizes him, and they're like, "You fucking idiot!" That actually allows the symbiote to completely take over, and then he's
So
just wrecking shit.
Kind of wrong on that.
No, that's what it was.
Well, he was already when he went to the Super Max prison.
Oh, you're right. They separated. Yeah, so they
So-
lobotomize him first and separate
But
the
the
symbiote
dumbasses
from it. Yeah.
didn't know that in like the backstory of it that he actually ate the symbiote Carnage. So any cut or anything he gets, he bleeds out fucking Carnage. So and obviously he got
Because it's a
lobotomized.
blood symbiote.
Yeah. So he got fucking lobotomized, so he has fucking blood coming out. So he's like literally brain dead. And everybody in the prison is like kind of freaking out. It's like, oh shit. It's like, and the guard's like, oh, he's fucking brain dead. He can't do shit. All of a sudden. And it's cool because the whole narration of that first issue is a petty, pretty much what his crime was petty. So there wasn't enough room in the regular prison, so they sent him to a super max prison. So he's freaking out, and all of a sudden, death everywhere, and he's like freaking out. He literally, this guy peed his pants and died because Carnage killed him.
Yeah. That one was actually pretty good.
That was
I didn't read Maximum Carnage. Did you read Maximum Carnage?
No, I haven't read that one yet.
I know there was minimum Carnage and Maximum Carnage
Yeah,
too.
Minimum Carnage. I read that one. I haven't read Maximum, but
I think I read Minimum.
But other than that, yeah. So pretty much just keep it short and simple. When Axis Carnage, it's like if you want to see like the whole different side of Carnage,
Doesn't he end up sacrificing himself too, and he dies at the end of it? No, I thought he did.
No, he just got fucked over by the reporter.
Oh, okay.
So, but
Dude,
other than that,
have you read Anti-Venom by chance? Have you read Anti-Venom?
No, sir.
It's actually really cool because this guy gets the black symbiote, but Mr. Negative touches him, and it switches the symbiote. It's basically like it's okay to have it now. Like he's a superhero, but because he looks like a Venom, he comes in and they're like, "Oh my god, it's gonna kill me!" And he's like, "No, I'm here to help." And like I think even one series like Punisher's just shooting at him, and he finally gets the Punisher. He's like, "Dude, I'm a fucking good guy." And even then, Punisher's like, "No, symbiote's good." And he's like, "No, I'm not killing you right now. Just fucking listen to me."
yeah, Eddie Brock was rocking that one.
Was it Eddie Brock? I don't think it was when I read it.
Eddie Brock ends up getting he end up.
You would know more Marvel than me, so you're probably right.
No, yeah, he ends up becoming Anti-Venom. So, and Anti-Venom is pretty much the only symbiote that can kill other symbiotes.
Yeah.
So,
and it's cool too because he's still like if he goes by Spider-Man or anything, Spider-Man still can't sense him.
yeah.
So fucking awesome. Let's go ahead. Let's get into a group. Let's get into a group.
Did you read any single ones?
I did, but
you saving it?
I'm gonna save that. Yeah, because it'll make sense a little later.
Gotcha.
Let's go ahead. Let's get into a group one.
Yeah, I can tell you about what I'm reading that in like 2 minutes that'll lead into it. So I'm going back and I'm way behind. I'm catching up on all the Rebirth stuff because I fell off right when it started just because I wasn't working. So I'm like, not a good time to collect.
Yeah.
But I still have all the number ones like piled up.
Yeah.
And so
that's what happens when you have a pull list. You get behind and you're like, I'll read that next week. And next week becomes next month. And then next month becomes 3 months. And then 3 months becomes 2 years. And then you read that issue that you got that month. And you're like, I don't understand what's going on.
I'm just going to get the trades.
Yeah,
exactly. So right now I'm reading through Supergirl. I always like to check out what changes they make to comics, like after they introduce it into a movie or TV show, to see if they try to merge them a little bit. You know what I mean? You all right over there?
No.
But that kind of leads into our group one.
Nice hit, Maestro.
The reason I'm trying to catch up on all the Rebirth stuff is so that I'm up to date when Doomsday Clock comes to an end in the year. Because that's when it's all going to connect. So we can go into group now.
Okay, yeah. All right, so
I mean, because I just started, so I don't have a lot to say. But,
okay.
But, yeah.
What is it, though? Who writes it as well?
Steve Orlando, Brian Ching.
Brian Ching's always at like Long Beach Comic Con and stuff. It might be an awesome time to get it signed. Hey, we got light.
Oh shit!
So this first one is Reign of the Cyborg Superman, and
that's like that was literally like New 52 ended, and then like,
this starts up and she's depowered. They shoot her into the sun. She comes out with her powers again. She starts battling the cyborg, who turns out to be her father, supposedly.
Robot,
quote unquote,
robot father. And he's bringing back Argo City, but they're all robots, and they need to like basically kill a human to become real. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah.
Hell yeah!
So I've been reading Supergirl for pretty much since
the beginning.
Crisis, first Crisis.
Supergirl's awesome, man.
And then even through the when they killed her off and they brought in the new Supergirl that was Linda Danvers.
I'm a big fan of Superboy, so I'd be interested to maybe like try to go back and read all those, and we could kind of cross-reference and see if they do connect or not. Like fuck Superboy Prime, that is still the worst storyline I've ever heard in comics. When Superboy Prime looks at the new 52 and he goes, I don't like the way it looks, and he punches reality back. Get the fuck
And fucking
here.
Jason Todd comes back to life.
You know what, Jason? We don't have Power Round music. Let's kill it anyways, though. Kill it, and let's get into this. Who is the... I might have Power Round music on.
From the fucking Bat family?
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I have Power Round music on my phone. Podcast.
Host, turn producer.
If he doesn't have it,
yes, I do.
Disappointing. Okay, good.
I have Power Round music. You guys ready? Power Round.
Do it, baby girl.
Who is the best Robin? Dude. Oh, that's the old Power Round music.
Fuck it, let's go with it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go with it.
So, who is the best Robin, in your guys' opinion? I'm going to go last.
Jason Todd.
Why?
Just the whole chance for, like, Jason Todd from, I know people will say fucking Damian Wayne was probably more needed, like, more violent in a sense, but he was, like, trained. Like, fucking Jason Todd, he was unpredictable, fucking violent. He's like literally no fucks given, like way more than fucking Damian Wayne was. And just even the story arc when he died too, the death of the family, that was just, I'm like, oh shit. And then how he got brought back and how psychologically he was fucked up. And he's like, and then so when coming to become Red Hood, he's like, you left me fucking to die. It's like, no, bro, I didn't. It's like, I tried to save you, and I thought you were dead, but I didn't know that fucking...
We didn't try everything.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's like, I didn't know that fucking Ra's al Ghul fucking took you and brought you back to life, and apparently, but Ra's al Ghul is pretty much doing a good thing for Batman and Bruce to bring back Jason Todd, but obviously it had its negative side effects of it, so...
Alright, Patrick.
Stephanie Brown.
Really?
No. I did like her.
Cassandra Cain.
I think, I don't know, probably Dick. I like watching this story of this guy.
Don't do it, Jose. I know where you're going.
The story of this kid that grows up, like being the first Robin and growing up just in Batman's shadow and trying to go out and be his own thing. I think over the entire arc, I think it's a really interesting story. You see how many times he kind of moves away, do my own thing. Okay, I'll be part of the Bat family. No, I won't. I'll be Batman for a little while. No, I won't. I just think he's got a pretty cool story. I mean, I remember reading Jason Todd when they killed him off.
Yeah,
I'm that old.
when he called up and he was like,
called.
Yeah.
Were you that
Kill
dick?
him!
Were you the dick that called 39 times?
I didn't call, but it was pretty cool to know. Like, I remember, I think I was probably in 5th grade when it happened, just so that you could vote of whether or not to. And like back then, we're like, they won't kill off Robin. Oh, they killed off Robin.
They fucking killed him. They fucking killed him.
So, and then years later, I'm like, I told you they wouldn't kill him off.
So,
but I mean, I got way heavy into DC stuff during the time of Tim. So he was kind of like the Robin I knew the best. But then I also went back and read a ton of stuff.
So I'm gonna say with the last 10 seconds, I'm gonna say Jason Todd. Reason why? Tried to steal the hubcaps out of the fucking Batmobile and was wearing a Poison Idea shirt while doing it. Boom. But in all fair, realistically, like Jason Todd, it's a close second, but my heart will always be with Damian Wayne. Because that's when I got into comics.
Okay.
So I started reading Batman and Robin and like loved it, and like I cried so hard when they killed him. And like if you were reading all the Bat titles, they were all called Requiem, and they all had the R. And there was one that was a silent issue. And like at the very end, it was like Damian wrote something to Bruce, and it was so sad. It was so heartfelt. In fact, I even remember getting really upset over how well Batman and Robin was written, because there's towards the end of a story arc, there's some dude that's coming back. Supposedly he was a partner with Bruce Wayne, and he was like, dude, like, you were supposed to be with me. You weren't supposed to be Batman, and you fucking abandoned me. And there's like a pressure point move that you can do to like just completely immobilize someone.
Oh, Avatar.
But yeah, exactly. It's like that. But if you do it too hard, you kill the guy.
Yeah.
And Robin does it too hard, and like his fingers are
went through
in the guy's skull still, and the guy's dead. And he looks to Batman and says, "Forgive me, Father, for I have sinned." And I was like,
"Oh shit!"
And like Batman's basically, well, now we got to cover up this murder and shit. So there was to me, I mean, like Damian will always be in my heart, but realistically, if I look amongst all of them, I love Jason Todd, man. Jason Todd was ruthless, dude. And as much as people, I understand that he was unpredictable, just like Mike says, but dude, like. He was badass,
he was
attacked, and he hit the ground fucking running, dude. He far surpassed, I feel, everybody else as a Robin, because Batman didn't want to put limits on him due to Dick.
Yeah.
And, like, he kind of should have, which ultimately equaled his demise.
Yeah, it really did, and that's why, what was it, Arkham City, when we get Red Hood?
No, it's Arkham Knight.
Was it Arkham Knight?
Yes.
Arkham Knight, that... I already knew,
because remember he is the Arkham Knight. And
yeah. Even that.
Yeah.
But even that story arc in that game alone, like I already knew it was going to be end up towards fucking.
I knew when they were teasing shit. I was like, "There's Red Hood."
Yeah, it's Red Hood. But even though,
let's be real,
even though with that, I was like, holy shit. Like, I still, that emotion of the story. And
even then, like, you go to GameStop, and I don't know if you were working there at that time, Patrick, or not, but I know you were at least going into GameStop. They had Red Hood shirts, and I was like, everyone at Warner Brother Games, it's not Red Hood. It's like, why are you selling Red Hood shirt? We don't know. It's like, get the fuck
like the red,
out of here.
Yeah, I mean, like I see what you're saying about like how ruthless he was and stuff, but to me, his story works because of Dick Grayson. Right?
Yeah,
like
okay, yeah,
you know what I mean.
you.
Like, so that's why I feel like when you say he's the best, but if the question is like who's your Robin, then by your answer, mine is Tim. Like for the same reason when I got heavy into it,
Red Robin too. Ooh.
I think when I read a lot of Batman when I was really young, but I think it was during that time that Dick had already quit and Death in the Family may have already happened. Like that's so there was like a little period of no Robin. When I got way into it, it was Tim Drake had his own comic.
Yeah.
Like it was like he was
that had to have been
Robin.
that had to have been pre Nightfall then, right? Because he was on his own and he got brought back in due to Nightfall.
Yeah, no, I got heavy into DC after Nightfall too.
Oh, okay.
So
you got into like No Man's Land and shit.
Oh yeah. All that stuff.
That's a brutal story. That's fucking long as shit.
Well, and if you think about it, it wasn't just a long story. It was like the third long story in a row because you had
Nightfall, which was 3 years.
Well, but Cataclysm is what led to No Man's Land. Like first you had the earthquake story, and I think there was something I can't remember the name. But there was another one, and then
there was like 3 preludes prior to
it was just like, hey, we're doing this crossover, but that was just the preview to this big crossover. Oh wait, here's the entire No Man's Land went on forever.
Yeah, dude, No Man's Land could probably fill up, I want to say, 3 or 4 long boxes.
Yeah,
it was
probably.
bad, dude.
It was huge. If you bought them all.
In fact, you could even buy like a map, and they have a poster board map.
Where's
that
everything?
follows everything. Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
So it was like, oh, you want to know what happened in this territory?
Get these books.
Yes, dude. Yes. You looked at it and you're just like, no one can afford this. And your friend's like, I bought it all. And you're like, ouch.
Actually, that's actually really good marketing plans. Like, here's the map.
Billy owns all of.
Does he really?
Everything. Everything that has to do, even the preludes to No Man's Land.
I do too. They're in storage. I had it because that's when I bought.
Santos.
That's the era I was telling you about when I hit the comic shop and then I'd come out with a stack every Wednesday. Not like, oh, I haven't been here in a few weeks. Oh, it's a big stack. Yeah. It was okay because you figure the Bat Family was enormous back then. Batman had 4 titles a month, so it was Batman Detective and Shadow of the Bat were in No Man's Land. Legends of the Dark Knight was not. So once a week you got a break. Yeah. But then on top of that, you had Robin, Nightwing, the new Batgirl had just started.
That was with Cassandra Cain?
Cassandra Cain.
Yes.
I think it spun out of No Man's Land because she showed up and he didn't even know who she was, I think.
Yeah.
She had the covered face. Azrael.
Oh, shit.
But that's Black Azrael, not White Azrael, right?
No, I think it was White Azrael.
You sure?
Crossed over before I think they killed him off. I'd have to. It's been so long.
Yeah,
You're talking about 90s, I think.
Yeah, and on top of it, like long periods of time,
tons of one shots.
Yeah,
just so much going on.
All right, let's get into something we actually read because this is gonna hurt us. So
speaking of year-long crossover,
no shit, we're reading Doomsday Clock. We all read number 1. So this is written by Jeff Johns, and I believe the art is I can't believe I forgot his name. I did forget his name. It doesn't. Jose, can we get that pulled up? It's shit.
Don't try, Bob.
I forgot what his name is because I was just talking about him. No, because it just on at least on the right hand side it just lists just the rights.
What about the end? What about the end? It has to say it in there somewhere. Come on, man.
There you go, Gary Frank. That's who it is, Gary Frank. So, Rorschach is apparently back.
Mm-hmm. Apparently.
But we find out that Adrian could possibly have cloned Rorschach.
Yeah.
On top of it, Adrian's carrying around his cat, which we all know from back in Watchmen or the movie when Dr. Manhattan and the cat go into the same...
Chinga thingy.
Yeah, chingadera. that makes them disappear. The cat goes, obviously Dr. Manhattan comes back because even addresses, like, this was the first thing I learned. Like, did you think I wasn't able to do it? But Adrian understands that he has cancer and he's dying. Mm-hmm. So he needs to find a world that's more stable.
Yeah.
And that's when we jump on over to our Earth with Superman. And Superman has a nightmare about his family. And it's the first nightmare he's ever had. And that's where we end. I actually want to read the end quote of that. I really did like it. And it's cool, too, because if you were a huge fan of The Watchmen, it has, like, letters in the back, which are really important. And I do suggest reading, but we're going to stick to the main story. Ozymandias says, he meets some fragment huge and stops to guess. What powerful but unrecorded race once dwelt in the annihilation place. So it's a little teaser of what's about to happen
next.
So first off, what'd you guys think of this comic?
It was slow for me, to be honest with you, but
that's fair enough.
But then again, I'm not a big DC head. Also, at the same time, so
it's also something you don't. What's another thing you don't care about within this comic?
Superman.
I hate Superman.
I don't like it. I don't care for him.
Fair enough.
He's not relatable to me. So
I don't think he's relatable to anybody.
No.
Speak for yourself.
Nobody's
calm down, champ.
Here. Just because you're super now.
Always have been.
Oh, get out of here. So continue on.
It's a slow burner. I didn't read the previous Watchmen's comics, but I do get the gist of what happened because obviously the movie.
I was gonna say you saw the movie, right?
Yeah, so the movie's pretty much spot on.
You never read Watchmen?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
no, we're not gonna go into this.
It's the greatest graphic novel of all time.
I know.
Man. I'll let you borrow mine just because I know I see you every fucking Sunday. Unlike Patrick.
Yeah, I said that one time too. I said those exact words. I see you every Sunday. I'll let you borrow Watchmen. Guess who has to go buy another Watchmen?
And you're gonna buy a hardcover too.
This time I'm getting hardcover.
Buy both, just so you can make the mistake.
No more lending.
No more lending. Fair enough.
So, but other than that,
didn't care for it.
Like I said, it's slow for me, but then again, I'm not like really invested to the previous stories of it, so I'm like,
all right.
But
what did you think of the art?
I love the art. I'm not gonna lie, like the art's legit. So, but I do have questions. I want to know when fucking Night Owl's coming back. Obviously, he's quote unquote retired.
No, he's not retired. I think he's dead.
No, they said it. He's retired.
Let me see real quick. I know exactly where it was at because that's when they lift up the right here. That's the owl ship. It's Night Owl, right? No, because he's dead. Because remember that Rorschach killed Night Owl and the Silk Spectre before he offered himself.
And then what the fucking homeboy says? No, he's not dead. He's retired.
Oh, he doesn't say retired. He says false. Put the screwdriver down. So he's alive. Your partner is like, no, he's not. And that's when Adrian comes in.
Okay, so I probably fucking read it wrong. But anyways.
But that doesn't mean that Adrian maybe
cloned
him or something. Yeah. There's something going on.
So that also threw me off. I'm like, Rorschach's alive. I thought he fucking died.
And they do address it in this.
So, and obviously you told me this is like 3 years after.
Yeah, so Watchmen happened in 89. This is technically happened in 92.
Yeah. So, yeah.
What about you, Patrick?
I loved it, dude. This is I've been wanting to get back into DC. It's that decision. Like, am I going to do this? Am I not going to do this? And I started to jump back in for Rebirth, and it was just too much, too overwhelming, too much money, too much time. And I'm like, I'll get back to it. And this is the perfect re-entry for me because it's 12 issues. It's going to come out once a month. But the story where it wraps up takes place when it wraps up will tie into what's going on at DC right then. Yeah. So basically what they're telling me is, all right, you have a year to catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm challenging myself to get caught up on all DC to coincide with the end of Doomsday Clock. So it's a cool re-entry point and to see what's going on. I mean, we kind of talked about, did we talk about this on mic or off? Just about rebooting the universes. Yeah. And like I was getting tired of it because it's been done so many times. But,
happens every 6 years.
Yeah, but you know what? Now I'm just like I got to a point that I missed checking in with all these characters, and I'm like, it's just time to jump back in. Yeah. So, because I remember as far back as Crisis, and then we were talking about Infant Crisis, and then, 52, New 52, all that stuff, and so I'm like, this is cool. This is a good time to
jump back in,
regardless of whether I liked the old version or the new version or the newer version or the next version.
Yeah.
Just it's a cool place to just jump in and accept the universe is what's going on right now.
Yeah.
So I love when I read that one shot of Rebirth and saw how they were rebooting their universe to include Watchmen, and I'm like, okay,
Well,
or to include Manhattan.
Yeah.
To include Manhattan, and there's something going on. I'm like, I actually like this idea of how we're rebooting it.
Because originally, Alan Moore wanted to. Watchmen is supposed to be.
In the whole DC universe.
Dr. Manhattan's supposed to be Superman, all the shit, and they were like, yeah, we don't want you messing with our continuity.
Right.
So they were like, create this other thing, and he's like, all right, well, I'm just going to do like direct ripoffs of everybody.
Yeah.
And then, which is weird because is Rorschach Batman or is he not? Because we also have Night Owl.
I mean, he might have originally wanted it to be these characters, and then when they told him no, he might have split it and like, okay, I've got Night Owl and Rorschach, and I'm gonna take Batman and make.
I think
I got Rorschach. I got Rorschach. I got it. Constantine.
I think with that, I think he's a mixture of Constantine and Red Hood.
Because here's the thing too.
I don't think Red Hood wasn't in '92 though.
No, but just his personality.
But here's the thing too is that.
But at that time, Alan Moore wouldn't be writing that. You got to think of that era.
So he might have wanted to use Batman, Superman, but when they told him no, he wouldn't make them exactly the same. So he had to have said like, okay, I'll take Batman and make Night Owl, but I can't make him too much like Batman, so I'll take some of these characteristics and put it in this other character. If they were if they were exact carbon copies, I don't think the book would have been as well received as it was.
So who's comedian then? Who do you think?
Ooh.
Because they don't have like a Punisher within. I think maybe Deadshot?
Deadshot?
Or Deathstroke? No, because he doesn't move fast.
Yeah, he does.
No, I meant comedian? Comedian doesn't move fast. He just...
We can maybe a mixture of both?
Maybe. Who has more of a war background in DC Universe?
Deathstroke.
Yeah, maybe it is Deathstroke then. Yeah, maybe you're right.
But I feel like it would have been like,
and then he would have been like a retired Deathstroke.
Well,
maybe?
I feel like it would have been somebody from Justice League, but like that team was
Green Arrow.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe like Green Arrow. Yeah. But again, when he started rewriting it, it's like, well, now I can go in this totally different direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what I'll say with Doomsday Clock is, first off, I love Jeff Johns as a writer. He has yet to let me down. I want to say he's one of the greatest writers of our generation. He did Flash Reborn or Flash Rebirth. He did the Justice League when the New 52 came out, which was phenomenal. So much so, I have to say, not only did it feel like I was picking up Watchmen even after over 15-year hiatus. I think Gary Frank was the right artist for this, and I loved it.
The art's phenomenal. I'm not gonna lie.
I loved it. It's interesting. It's so interesting, and I'm mad that the second issue hasn't come out yet.
I know it's gonna be a long.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long. I just hope they stick to their schedule because I know they're infamous. DC's
changing shit up.
Infamous for like not changing shit. Marvel's infamous for changing shit.
No, but I mean like
DC's infamous for not sticking to their deadlines.
That's what I meant, like deadlines. That's when you keep changing shit on their deadlines.
Because I remember Superman Unchained, which is it was Scott Snyder because he was the hottest writer, and Jim Lee. And by the time they actually came out with it, Lex Luthor was still bad, but they just ended Forever Evil. So Lex Luthor was good now. So you're like, well, when the fuck does this? Yeah, when does this take place? Yeah. So as long as they stick to the full year schedule, I'm okay with that. I'm completely okay with that. We probably should have been playing our comic book review music.
Yeah.
Maestro, hit us with comic book review music. All right, so...
so you worded it properly.
Mike,
yo,
are you going to continue reading this with us? Are you going to take the year journey with us to really say it sucks at the very end, or no?
I say you stick with it.
I'm gonna stick with it.
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
I think this is a...
Personally, I'm not gonna buy it, so I'll just read it from
we'll
you
let
guys.
you borrow it every week.
Hey,
but I'll read it from you
So
guys.
just know, we're every time we review this, it's the week after.
Well, and I always end up buying multiple copies. So it's not like they're losing money on you saying I'm not gonna buy it.
Other than that, no. So I'll jump on this journey with you guys. Like I said, for me right now, it's a slow burner for me because at the same time, I don't even know what the fuck is going on because I'm not up to date to all Rebirth at all. So it's
neither am I.
So
I read Green Lanterns. I read New Superman, which I love, and I need to read. I was gonna read Flash, but I think I'm just gonna go ahead. I'm gonna stick to Sam Humphries, which he left Green Lanterns, and he's gonna be taking on Nightwing. So I'm gonna follow that writer. I'm very much about following writers.
Yeah.
I would love to follow artists, but sometimes they jump on with
a writer
writers
you just don't
I
care for, so,
refuse to read.
Yeah.
Tim Seeley is one of those. I do not care for Tim Seeley's writing. But nonetheless, dude, like, there's so much good stuff coming out there, and I still love. I think Marvel switches way too much for me. It's like I had a good year of Doctor Strange, and it was phenomenal. Last Days of Magic, this guy comes in, takes all the magic, and goes into Doctor Strange's house. And at the very bottom, there's this like monster, just the most evil monster in the world, and Doctor Strange just had to keep him there the entire time, and releases the monster. And like finally he tells like Doctor Strange, like he's like, well, you've learned your lesson now. Like, you know, you're pure darkness, but obviously you stopped in front of me.
Yeah.
So go take that into the world. And it ends up being calm and leaving. And the guy that's been trying to take away all the magic, he's like, well, what am I doing here? He's like, well, now the true evilest monster is now locked in here and just fucking shuts the door.
Damn.
On him. Yeah, so I was like, oh, so great.
Like,
and
for
then
me-
they took it away, and now Doctor Strange sucks.
Like, you already know me. I'm like, I'm certain story arcs. If I'm interested, I'll go into it, but I just stick to my usual.
So we all read another comic.
From Image. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Gravedigger #2.
Yeah, Gravedigger's Union.
I actually have the prelude, if you wouldn't mind if I read it, you guys.
Oh, go ahead.
So, the story so far is a supernatural world has gone berserk, and it's all tied up to a powerful cult called the Black Temple. They want to unleash ancient dark gods on mankind and bring the apocalypse. The only thing that stands in their way are Cole, Ortiz, and Haley, the members of the Gravedigger Union, a brotherhood sworn to defend the living from the undead. At the center of the Black Temple's plan is a street kid named Morgan. She is the key to the coming apocalypse. She is also Cole's estranged daughter. Now, to find the Gravediggers have broken Union rules and have gone to ask for help from Morphia the Witch. Only one problem: Gravediggers and witches hate each other's guts. First off, I need to say this. Thank you, Image, thank you. I forgot who the writer and artist is.
We got Guardia and Fletcher, so Wes Craig and Toby Cypress.
Yes. So, thank you so much for actually giving, like, this is called the Marvel method, where you add, like, this is what happened previously, and then tune in next time.
Yeah,
right.
So I'm glad that they went down the Marvel method, because it seems like with Image Comics, they don't really do that too often. So I like knowing, all right, this is what happened previously, this is where we're at now, go! And that's exactly what happened in this. They go and they go to this voodoo, I guess a witch
in the bayou,
which is funny because
looks like
she's
a fucking meth lab.
She's supposed to have money.
Yeah.
That was great. That's it. I thought she was supposed to have money. Why is she living in a swamp?
He was like, and literally, beep, beep, beep. Fuck, I don't know. You know, he said, "Fuck, I don't know."
And then they're like, "Oh God, it looks like a meth lab. It looks like a children's meth lab. Like somebody drew.
It was all like
crayon and tagged up and shit.
All fancy.
All jank.
It looked like tie dye.
It was like the ghetto witch from Hansel and Gretel. It was like, can't have candy, so I'm gonna paint this bitch.
Well, I think the great thing too is like, what happened to your money? She's like, I don't want to talk about it. I lost it in stocks and stuff, and it's like, what's going on here? So from there, they basically address like they need to find the daughter, and the daughter's working for
the Dark Order, or whatever.
The Dark Temple.
Yeah,
the Black Temple, I believe. So from there, we jump on over to them, and they basically address, hey,
we need
what makes you think this girl's our savior? And they're like, yeah, well, you can fucking leave.
He's like, motherfucker. He's like, you're excommunicated. And he's like,
I'm the primary stockholder.
He's like, my dad started the fucking.
No.
Yeah, it was his dad. His dad started it.
No, I thought the son walks up to the dad as like, leave the seat.
No, he was dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, dad's been dead.
Oh, okay.
So he's like, blah blah blah. When we started the movie, it's like, yeah, no, and everyone was like,
later,
bye. It's like you lost the cause. It's for the cause. So and then obviously
for the greater good.
Yeah, and so Morgan's like, shit, I should have tried harder. He's like, yeah, he was a major fucking asset, but his fucking funds was dwindling, so we don't give a fuck about him. Yeah. So it was just, even though the prelude helped a little bit, I still really don't know what the fuck is going on, because I want to know more of the dialogue was going between the characters and everything. But
you could go back and read.
I'm gonna pick up number 1.
Same here.
But the art, I enjoy the art. It was dark, a little more.
I didn't enjoy the art.
It was dark and grimy. I love it.
It reminds me of kind of like comic book strips.
Yeah.
Comic book strip art. I didn't care for that.
See, I did not like it because
it felt like it was intended to be like that too, because it made all the colors kind of look faded.
I felt
away.
like if I had picked up like the next Doomsday Clock or something else DC, it's like, well, wait, this art doesn't fit in the universe that I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, because I'm going into something completely different, which was nice that even though we were on the second issue, it's like we missed a little bit, but I didn't feel like I had to know this whole universe to just jump into something cool. So it was kind of nice that the artwork was different.
Yeah,
going along with it. So I really felt like we're over here now. We're not. This
is our little playground.
Yeah,
this is now.
So I like it. I like it for that reason.
Yeah, I like the writing. I mean, I personally, it didn't interest me, but that doesn't mean it's not a good comic.
Yeah,
it's just something I'm not going to continue reading. But yeah, it was solid. It was cool. I enjoyed all the jokes.
The jokes were funny.
Yeah. It hit every time it needed to hit, dude.
Yeah.
So do I suggest picking it up? You should. Like, if you enjoy something like this and this feels like something right up your alley, which Image is like the new home of horror and sci-fi.
Yeah.
Like something that and they're playing to that a lot, because DC has what? Constantine.
Yeah.
Marvel has Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, maybe Swamp Thing on DC side. Maybe Moon Knight or Man Thing on the other side. And even then, Man Thing, hasn't that been canceled by R.L. Stine yet? I remember picking up the first one and the second one, and I hated it.
I don't remember, to be honest with you, dude.
I mean,
but dialogue in this fucking comic is like on point.
Yeah.
It's not like
felt great.
It was just fucking a good constant flow. But yeah.
And then both you guys are gonna pick up the first issue as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna go back and read it, and then I'm gonna reread 2 to see if it makes more sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I was a little lost, but I still dug it.
Let's go ahead. We're gonna switch gears right now. We're gonna get into something else that maybe everybody wasn't expecting, but 'tis the season, man. 'Tis the season
to be killing.
No, not to be killing. No, maybe chilling, but not killing.
Tamales.
I looked at your phone and it just said bacon across the top. I'm like, 'tis the season for bacon?
Yes, it is.
It's for some odd reason.
Bacon cookies.
Bacon cookies.
There we go.
So, 'tis the season, you guys, and guess what I read on my own this week?
Don't know.
There's a nice, hefty Christmas special by DC. $9.99. $9.99.
Never read that.
How Rudolph Saved Gotham.
No, dude. You know
It's just the DCU holiday special?
Yes, it is.
It's out?
No,
Oh.
I'm reading the preview
I was
for
gonna
it.
say,
it comes out this
I thought
Wednesday.
it was coming out this Wednesday.
It is coming out
Exactly.
this Wednesday. Yes,
I didn't realize it was that thick.
Yeah.
$10.
Oh, yes,
I want
$10.
I usually buy the holiday specials if I see them come out. So.
What I will say is, it touches every single character in the DC universe, even to the point where it starts off with Constantine getting drunk in a bar and getting mad.
Nice.
And it actually goes on over to Clark Kent, and apparently every year
he's out.
Every year he contemplates if he should continue being Superman.
Yeah,
and he kind of sits there and he's just like, am I even good enough? Can I save everybody? Like, is it worth it? And the bartender comes up and he's like, every year you just sit here and you talk shit on Superman, and I'm fucking tired of it. And it's funny too, because of course, Superman has to be clear-minded, so he's ordering club soda the entire time.
Right.
Yeah.
While Constantine's like shit drunk, and he's like, yeah, my fucking problem, I gotta do the same shit like Superman's doing, but no one gives a shit about me. And like, get the fuck out of here, Alki. And it goes into a lot of different things. One of my favorite stories, and I know Mike would appreciate it, it seems to be taking place in like World War II.
Oh yeah.
And a soldier basically got shot, and this high-ranking like German soldier comes by. Oh, whatever, he's dead. And the American pulls out the gun, and he's like, "Nope, you're fucking sitting here with me." And basically, he's like, "When I die, you fucking die." And it goes for like a full week, and he's just like, man, like nobody's gonna come for us. He's like, I don't give a fuck. Like, you're staying here, man. And Sergeant Rock comes and he sees him, and he's like, man, like and that was the thing, is that he's like, you're gonna die after a day. And he ends up basically like living the full Hanukkah and living out those 7 days, and he's like, or 8 days, whatever it is.
8 crazy nights.
So yeah, there you go, 8 crazy. That's how I can remember. They also go into this awesome Green Arrow storyline where Green Arrow's helping the orphans, and they pick up. He's dressed up as Santa Claus, and Black Canary's dressed up as Mrs. Claus. And she's just like, this is fucking stupid. But then some bad guys come and they have to take him out, and that's when Green Arrow uses the
Christmas arrows.
The punch bag arrow.
Oh, the punching glove.
Yeah, and then like all the kids come up and like, oh my God, you're Black Canary. You were an orphan too, and like, thank you so much for helping us. Like, you're working with Santa Claus? And that's what Green Arrow's like, yeah, Santa Claus. And he's like, shit. And they're like, thank you so much. And like, Black Canary looks to Green Arrow's like, I understand now. So, do I suggest picking it up? I do. It's $10, man. It may hurt your pockets, but honestly, it helps you. It helps a comic book goer really get into the Christmas spirit again. It helps you, pull you in, and you're just like, man, like, even to the point where like Batman has a story too, and he's like, he just it's like the one time a year he like lets this thing go because this poor kid apparently was forced out of their home with the grandma, and like now you can't tell if he's like, there's something mentally wrong with him, or if he truly is haunted by his grandma that unfortunately dies in the snow because they get kicked out of their house. And basically this guy has at gunpoint the son of the people that did it. And the grandma's son, the ghost grandma's like, dude, like, kill them now. And Batman comes in and kind of realizes like, okay, like, you're traumatized. I get it. So I'm going to let this go. And that's when the guy goes, get away from me, Grandma, like leave forever. But then, like, as she leaves, he's just crying, and he's like, goodbye, Grandma. So it's like the only thing that ever loved him and cared for him, like, unfortunately, as it haunted him, he had
years.
to let it go, So, honestly, it was good. And there's short little stories, 5 to 6 pages, and it's brutally thick.
Fuck.
Like, it seems like either 50 or 100 page special.
Oh shit.
Nice.
So
it's worth the 10.
Yeah, that's worth the 10.
It is worth the $10.
You know,
man.
I'll pick it up.
And it seems like it was cool, man. I suggest, and art, just everything needed to be where it needed to be. If it was Green Arrow, it was more it was actually, I think Green Arrow was more like Bruce Timm kind of art.
Okay.
While when you went over to Superman, it was more realistic. While you went over to Batman, it was dark and gritty and watercolor. Like, it hit everything it needed to hit.
That's awesome.
Nice.
Go ahead and pick it up. But with that being said, we have one more comic, you guys, and it is the Faith Wonderland Winter Special.
Yeah.
Can we go ahead? Can we get the artist and writer on this one, good sir? The Valiant Comics Faith Wonderland Special. Now, don't worry about it, Mike. We got a producer to pull that up. So, you guys, who wants to explain this one in a jiffy?
Pretty much, childhood, started off watching a fucking Alice in Wonderland TV show.
Yes.
Faith. Yep. And then it was during Christmas, and then she's older now. She's at the store.
It got canceled.
Yeah, well, got canceled. And then she see a postcard of the fucking show. She's like, and all of a sudden, fucking White Rabbit came out in the middle of nowhere. She's like, what the fuck? Teleported to this fucking underground lair, and then fucking creepy ghost kids came out. And then all of a sudden, we found out that fucking Alice of the show became the evil fucking witch queen of Oblivion. Yeah. And then, I
think I might have to re-explain it.
You said in a jiffy.
There you go, fair enough. So basically, when Faith is a kid...
the writer is Margaret Savage.
And artist?
And artist is Francis Portela and MJ Kim.
There you go, you guys. So basically, Faith is a kid, and she's watching the last, unbeknownst, the last Wonderland show. Mm-hmm. And Alice says, tune in next week. We're going to figure all this stuff out. And then it just got canceled, and she's like, man, that kind of hurt. So when she's later on as an adult, she's in the store, and she buys the card, and she goes, I know Alice. I remember this. I know this person personally. But in the end of the show, they go, hey, you need to go get the person to save us. White Rabbit, you're our only hope. Yep. Send him off. So as an adult, the White Rabbit comes and is like, hey, you need to come help me. And I kind of felt bad Because like she's like, oh, follow White Rabbit. Well, if it's a dream, who cares? Jumps in and goes, man, blondes are notorious for just jumping into the hole and following me. I was like, that kind of hurts, man. You don't want to be calling out people like that. Like, just the blondes always follow me. I was like, all right, whatever. So from there, they basically explain like there are bad things that are happening within Wonderland. Our queen has now switched because she was corrupted, and in the real world, you find out that Alice, they're like, dude, we understand you've done this as a passion project, but you need to sell stuff. And from there, they were like, she was like, you know what, fuck it, I'll bite the bullet. Fuck this shit. So that's when everything is now corrupted over in Wonderland. And Faith, luckily, not only banishes everything from consumerism and all this, but pulls out Alice and says, like, I understand and I get it. Like, remember who you are. You started this because of this. She switches. She's all good.
Did you give her the postcard?
Not yet.
That was
not yet.
Oh, sorry.
She shows the postcard. You're right. She does. She shows.
That's what I meant. She shows it, and doesn't that
brings it back. And right before leaving, they're like, "Thank you so much for saving us." And Faith asks the White Rabbit, "Can I keep the bunny suit?"
Yeah,
because when consumerism is trying to like follow her, they're like, "Here, just throw this on. They only attack humans, and they'll think you're a bunny." So she gets sent out. She actually goes to Alice and goes like, "Here, like, do you remember this?" And she's like, "Oh my god, I do. We should watch reruns together."
Yeah.
And she kind of like reminisces upon it. That's where it ends, man. So what did you guys think of Faith's Wonderland Special?
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't really read any Fate comics at all.
I don't think you needed to know anything about Faith in this one.
Well, I'm just giving my backstory on that. But the comic itself was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It was like not a super drawn out fucking story. It was multiple issues. It was like,
what he's saying is it wasn't Doomsday Clock.
Yeah. No, but for something like, because that one issue has a lot of potential for be like maybe like a 3-part series, 4-part series, but it was like enough, just like bam, right straight to the fucking point. Yep. Art's on point. Dialogue, I enjoy the dialogue of it because it's like question here, answer here, question here, answer here. Well, what the fuck? Huh? This is what happened. Like, oh, okay, cool. So,
what did you think?
No, I agree. I think like rather than drag it out to be 4 issues, it's just sometimes you just want to go to the shop, grab something, sit down, and read a story that starts, has a middle, and ends, and not go, all right, well, in 4 months, I'll find out what happens. Yeah. You know, so it was cool. It's cool, especially like a lot of times end of the year, we're gonna throw out a one shot or something like that. Yeah. It's just nice to sit down and just read a story. And like you said, I'm familiar with Faith, but I haven't read anything, so you didn't need to. This is
perfect.
You know, had everything you needed to know in there, and it was probably a very different twist than what usually happens. Like she went to Wonderland.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But it was like you go into it. You may not, whether you know Faith or not, you know the story. Like you know the Alice story.
What I will say is
they gave you something that is familiar.
The Travelverse was just introduced, so that's when they tell the bunny like go to the Travelverse, and that was just introduced recently. And Faith in the Future Force.
Okay.
So that was like a little. I was like, oh shit, they're still playing the storyline out because that's already passed. It's already gone. But as a Valiant follower, I loved it, dude.
Nice.
I loved it. And Faith, for those that don't know, she is a plus size superhero, something you don't normally get within Marvel and DC. And you know, people want relatable. You know, some people are overweight, and you know she's
at a perfect weight. Over or under.
There you go.
Well,
fuck, I was going to say something. I have to retract that statement because as she was a kid, you know, she had a little extra weight on her too. And I was like, man, they're sticking with continuity. Yeah. I love it. And there's nothing wrong with it. And that's exactly what it is that people will tell her, like, well, why don't you lose a little weight? Why don't you do this? And she's like, man, not only am I perfectly good the way I am, but I could kick the living crap out of you.
Yeah.
And that's why they address in the comic too, like, you're this perfect combination of, like, kind-hearted and loving, but assertive and need to do what you need to do during this action. So she's just this awesome, you know, person.
Badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
That's honestly, I couldn't toot Valiant's horn more, dude.
Any more than you already do.
Exactly. I love them to death. Everything they got, and even then, Patrick picked up Ninjak #2.
No, I got #1.
Oh, you have #1.
Is 2 out? I didn't see it.
I think 2's out in a week or 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you picked up #1.
Yeah.
Did you end up reading it?
Not yet.
You gonna?
Oh yeah, of course.
Right.
I didn't buy it for nothing. I didn't buy it
to look.
to kid.
And on that note, we're gonna go ahead and end it, you guys.
Wait,
what?
Did you guys see the new trailer for a new animated movie?
The Batman
Ninja and
Ninja
Senjuku.
one? I did.
I didn't watch it yet. I saw that.
God.
It looks pretty cool. It's from the maker of Afro Samurai.
Yep.
So it's like this, like the 3D stuff. So yeah, that's gonna be
Cool.
If you haven't seen it, watch it.
Before we go, can I ask a question?
Do you bleed?
No.
You will. Yes.
How would you feel if Valiant put out an AFI comic?
I'd cry. I would cry. Look, I'm
be
just
intolerable at that
I'm
point.
just look. I may be the
But
only.
it was $40.
I may be. I may be the only one in line. But once those fucking Harbinger movie come out and the Bloodshot movie come out, I will be there and I will watch it 50 fucking times. I swear to you.
So you're gonna watch them as much as I watch Deadpool?
Yeah, basically, especially Bloodshot. And what's great is supposedly, if it is what it is, the director of John Wick is going to be taking on Bloodshot, which is the perfect director. Bloodshot's not going to say anything. He's just going to go fucking murder you motherfuckers. All right, let's go ahead. Let's close it out. I am your host, MTR, also known as Matt the Rat. And as always,
Mike.
Special guest Patrick.
Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms. Comics After Dark. Oh, no music?
There we go.
There we go. All right, you guys. Until next time. Later.
Deuces.
Giggity, giggity, giggity.